Hello and welcome to How I Built Bits, where every week I give you a cool tool, tip, or trick to help you be a better creator in 6 minutes or less. Clock's ticking, so let's get to it. This episode and the next episode are presented by Sensei, a LMS plugin for WordPress. I'm a big fan of it. I will link a video in the show notes to what I did about how to use it, the changes they've made, and then a second video on how to use Sensei and one of their new themes to basically make your site masterclass, which is super cool. If you want to learn more about Sensei and get a 20% discount, you can go to howibuilt.it/Sensei. That's SENSEI. Today is a part 1 of 2 on how to effectively sell online courses. So today I'm going to tell you the framework that you should use. And then next week I'm going to tell you a couple of tools. Spoiler alert, that episode is also brought to you by Sensei. But here's the right way to sell an online course, because too many online course creators will just go into a hole and spend 6 months making the course they think people will want to buy. And so they'll write the scripts, record the videos, edit the videos, create all the sales copy, create all the thumbnails, put it into their LMS, and then launch it in hopes that people will buy it. And if your launches go anything like my launches did when I did that, they'll be grossly disappointing. So here's what you should do instead. Don't just go into a hole and make the course for 6 months. Test the idea. First, maybe test it with a social media post, right? Put it on LinkedIn or Instagram and say, hey, thinking about putting together some free material on this thing. Are you interested in learning about it? And if you're like, yeah, or if it gets engagement, maybe just ask like, hey, I want to teach people about automation. What's one question about automation you have? If that gets engagement, the next step would be to test the material with a webinar. Now, I'll also tell course creators to start a podcast. That's a whole different episode, though. But you could test material with a podcast. But test the material with a webinar. Make it a free webinar. Have people sign up. Get them to come to the event. Do a high-level overview of what you want to teach and pitch at the end. Spend 3 to 5 minutes pitching this new course you're working on. Tell them that if they pre-order it, if they buy it today, they'll get a discount and they'll get early access. They'll get the course as you complete it. So do that. Have a specific date and number of sales you need to make in mind. So if you're like, it'll be worth it if I sell 5 of this course or if I sell 10 of this course. Once you do that, deliver the course week by week the first time. Create the first lesson, send it out to your students, wait for feedback, create the second lesson the next week, do the same thing. At the end, now you've gotten feedback on all of your material. You can integrate that feedback, package it up, and sell it as evergreen. This process saves you time because you're not wasting 6 months on a course nobody wants. It validates your idea by getting webinar signups and then getting people to vote with their dollars, and it gets you paid faster. The only real risk is running the webinar and making the pre-sale landing page. But it's way better to waste 2 hours than it is to waste 6 months. So that process again, test the idea with a webinar. Sell on that webinar, pre-sell the course, and have a number in mind. If I need to sell 10 and I only sell 9, I'm refunding those 9 people. Once you have the start date for the course, deliver the first lesson and get feedback from your students. Integrate that feedback into week 2. At the end of the course, everybody has access to the course. You can integrate the feedback into your final version of the course, and you can sell it as evergreen. This will save you time, validate your idea, and get you paid on time. So that's it for this episode. Thanks to Sensei for sponsoring it. Again, if you're working on an online course and you need someplace to sell it, check out Sensei over at howibuilt.it/Sensei, SENSEI, for 20% off. And until next time, get out there and build something.